All right, this is the first of many. This is the first of many videos I'm going to be recording. I'm on my way to the library to do some library-ish stuff. Yeah, so this is my channel, Fit Dead Fam. A lot of people have talked to me about documenting. I'm actually training for a half marathon. I've been doing a lot of stuff to kind of get my health better. I used to weigh almost 400 pounds, so I've just tried to kind of take everything I've learned and kind of come up with my own system that works for me. I'm one of those types that I like to just learn by doing myself and kind of come up with an objective way to look at. I'm usually pretty skeptical about almost any diet that's out there, so I've kind of tried to create my own. But there's a lot of things you learn. This video I'm just going to kind of keep it brief because I'm going to be doing a lot of them, but I just want to talk about basically a lot of people get into the whole, they do one diet and they just follow it to a T, and sometimes it works out. For instance, if you're one of those people that has, you know, a lot of trouble and you eat a lot of carbs and sugar and starch and pop, you know, and you do the keto diet or if you do, you know, like the gluten-free diet, most likely you're going to lose regardless, because you're going to drastically cut out a lot of food that'll make you gain weight. But that might not necessarily be the way, you know, a long-term solution, especially if those are foods that you enjoy. It doesn't mean you have to completely get rid of them. You want to manage them, but I mean, you're really not living if you're not enjoying food. I like to cook as well, so I try to make foods. I try to find out, you know, whenever I work with people, I try to find out what they like to eat, and I try to make a version of it that they can still enjoy and not just have to go extreme. Because most people, a lot of times people go really extreme and then they have trouble sticking with the diet because it's just too different than what they're used to, and it's just too much to try to maintain long term, and they're not enjoying it, they're miserable. I always told myself, you know, whenever I'd have a good week, or regardless of the week I had, if I lost a pound or 3 pounds, I'd always try to enjoy myself, treat myself to some good food. It gave me motivation whenever, you know, I'm grinding during the week to say, okay, well, Saturday I'm gonna, you know, just eat whatever I want. I don't care how many calories I have, I'm just gonna eat. Not saying that the days that I'm, you know, not eating that I'm just struggling, but if I know that's on its way, you know, if it's coming in that week, I'm excited about it. So basically, not to go on a tangent there, but I talked to a lot of people about knowing your body type. Now, remember, a lot of this stuff comes from a lot of my personal experiences. So, I mean, you know, obviously, you know, I'm not saying take it with a grain of salt, but just, I feel like this is something I've learned along the way. Make sure that you know, before you even get really serious about how you're going to eat and what you're going to do, know your body type. Everyone has a different body type, and everyone benefits from certain types, different types of foods, and, you know, what you eat, you know, and, you know, depending on what kind of body type you have, if you get that figured out first, you're going to have a lot easier time maintaining what you're doing and doing something long term. Because if you know, let's say you have a body type that requires, you know, not, you know, low amounts of carbohydrates, high amounts of protein and fat, and you're doing the opposite of that and trying to lose weight. You know, for instance, let's say you're the type that just, carbs are just not your friend, and you're just better inclined to eat protein, and mostly protein, fiber, and fat, and you're eating, you know, let's say you're eating lots of carbs, like that's the majority of what you eat, and let's say they're, you know, you think that they're healthy carbs. If that's all you're eating, or the majority of what you're eating, you're still going to have trouble losing, because your body just, it doesn't process that the way it should. So just keep that in mind just to start. We'll go into it more. Like I said, I kind of created my own diet that works for most people, but a lot of it's figuring out your body type. But I'm going to kind of keep it brief there. I'm going to go into a little bit more here in my next couple of videos, but I just wanted to kind of do a little intro on body types and the importance of them. But this is Will with Fit Dad Fam, and we'll be doing a lot of these videos soon.